Welcome back to After Battle. I'm your host as always, Daniel Levi, and joining me now is Vinc Pichel. Vince, welcome to Half the Battle.
What's up, Daniel? Thanks for having me, bro.
You got it, man. So, dude, you're making your return. It's been 3 years. I bet you're champing at the bit to get back in there.
Yeah, man, I'm so stoked. It's been way too long, bro. I've died and came back from the dead, so I want to make everyone regret it. Oh, shit. Yeah.
And, man, they got you fighting in a very exotic place. I mean, you're fighting in New Zealand. I mean, what a great place to make your return in, right?
Oh, yeah. Dude, it's beautiful out here. Honestly, you can't turn any direction and not see beautiful scenery. The people here are amazing. Everyone's super friendly. The cops don't even carry guns. Honestly, I got a speeding ticket, and the cop was, like, so cool to me. It was kind of weird.
Man, you got any plans to stick around in New Zealand a little bit after the fight and do some exploring?
I mean, maybe if I find a cute Maori girl, I might get married and get my resume card out here and not go back home.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, and man, it's such a different, place because, over here, I'm recording this. I'm speaking to you on Monday night, and over there, it's like Tuesday afternoon, right?
Yeah, it's Tuesday. It's about 2:45 right now in the afternoon.
Man, so you said you went out there 2 weeks in advance to acclimate?
Yeah, I came out 2 weeks early because I've never fought outside the country, and I didn't know what to expect. So I wanted to come out here early. I wanted to see how things were. I didn't know if it was, elevation was going to be an issue. I didn't know weather. So I wanted to get out here super early and get prepared for everything and be over prepared because, like I said, this is my first fight out of the country, and I don't want to come out here and kind of just be thrown into the wind of things. So I came out here. I want to be prepared when I'm out here.
How's the jet lag treating you?
Honestly, I don't get jet lag. I was good. The same day I got out here, I was out venturing off. So the first day I got here about 7, 8. I think I got here around 9 o'clock in the morning, and I was already out venturing off, sightseeing and stuff. I took the day off training just because I couldn't really get anything organized that fast. I was out sightseeing, doing my thing, and the next day I was right into training. So I don't really feel jet lag too much when I go on long trips. I mean, I've been outside the country a bunch. I've been to Italy. I've been to the Middle East. So jet lag really doesn't affect me too much, which I'm glad.
So they gave you a really tough, gritty, experienced vet for your return, man. You got Damien Beatdown Brown in New Zealand. How pumped are you for this matchup, knowing that this is a guy that's going to come to fight you?
I'm stoked, honestly. Yeah, he's a tough dude, but, I'm no slouch myself. We're both planning on coming in and finishing each other, so it's going to be a good fight. I feel like it's a good fight for me return-wise. I've been out for 3 years, and, people are trying to put that ring rust and whatnot, which, to me, honestly, is bullshit, but I'm going to come out there and I'm going to fight, too. I don't feel like he's going to really be able to handle anything I throw at him, honestly.
So you think ring rust is just a mental thing?
Yeah, I think it is. I definitely think it is. Ring rust for me comes with doubt. When people doubt themselves, they doubt their abilities, and there's no doubt in my mind in my abilities and what I'm capable of. And it's not like I haven't been training. And the guys I train with, honestly, when I'm training, it's almost like an actual fight. We're just not trying to kill each other. You know what I mean? So, that aspect of it, it's really just another day in the office for me.
Good to hear, man. I heard you did a little bit of work with the rugby team, the All Blacks.
Yeah, I went down to a Chiefs training center with a bunch of them. So I guess they all train because I'm not really sure about rugby. I'm barely starting to get into it. But there was like 5 to 10 dudes there from the All Blacks rugby team just training, working out and stuff. I got to meet Liam Neeson, which is basically like the number one rugby player in the world right now. He's one of the top guys. And, there's other guys there, too, that are, top 10 rugby dudes that I got to watch them work out, and they got to watch me work out. It was cool because they were kind of like, wow, like, the shit you do is awesome. Like, they were kind of like a little starstruck by me. And, I'm kind of the same with them because it's like we're both we're both extreme athletes, you know what I mean, rugby and MMA, but it was cool to be there working out, see them work out, and them be a little starstruck by me, and the same for me, being a little starstruck by them. So it was kind of cool to do that. It was a real humbling thing for me.
Man, what's their training like? Because, obviously we don't have rugby over here.
Yeah, actually the day I went there was a light training day for them, so they did weights. It was weightlifting for them, which, I mean, they call it a light day, but those dudes are benching 500 pounds and squatting 1,000 pounds, a couple of those dudes. So,
Wow.
I mean, I hate to see what they do on a rough day, honestly, but it was basically, they told me that was a light day for them, and they were like, you probably think we're pussies because we're just weightlifting, and I was like, nah, man, I've seen rugby. I know you guys are badasses. You guys are tough. So it was just awesome, and it was cool, like, just to be a part of their element, because, like I said, I barely started to get into it, and, I mean, so far, I love the sport. I love how it's like football, but just a little rougher. It's kind of like, I mean, watching rugby and then watching football. Football's kind of like a pussy version of rugby, to be honest.
Yeah, it's no joke, I'll tell you that much. And, dude, did you by chance see Max Holloway versus Jose Aldo?
I saw highlights of it. Max Holloway, man, he's a champion. That dude fought like a champion. He went into that land like he was an old king in the medieval times and just taking over someone else's land. And Aldo threw some good shots at him. I know he probably rocked him, hurt him a couple times, but Max Holloway stayed long and threw his combos at him and finished the fight, which is what I was honestly expecting Holloway to do. He's a tough dude, a good fighter. He's Hawaiian, and those dudes come to fight.
Straight up, man. I mean, who you got between Mark Hunt and Derek Lewis in the main event this weekend?
Shit, man, that's a tough one to call. I mean, either dude can put each other to sleep with a slap. So, I mean, Mark Hunt's my boy. You know, I'm going Mark Hunt, but I'm not sleeping on Derek Lewis either, because, like I said, both those dudes can put someone out with a slap. But I'm gonna go Hunt. Hope my boy Hunt comes out on top.
Man, it's going to be a banger, that's for sure. So, obviously, you were on the Ultimate Fighter 15, Tough Live. You were in the top 4. And, to this day, I still think that Tough Live is the best season of Tough that there's been. I mean, the top 4 guys, Chiesa, Iaquinta, Vic, and yourself, I mean, all you guys are still in the UFC doing big things. You know what I mean? So, how much did that change your life being on the Ultimate Fighter?
Honestly, it 180'd my life. Before the Ultimate Fighter, I was honestly thinking about quitting fighting. I was kind of just running through people. I was 7-0, and I was telling my coach Brian Peterson and Big John McCarthy, where I trained, that I wanted some bigger fights. You know what I mean? I wanted to be tested because I didn't want to just be running through these dudes. You know what I mean? I wanted to make sure that this is something that I'm actually good at, and I wanted to prove to myself that I am one of the best in the world, that I can compete at the top level. So for a while there, I was getting a little discouraged because I wanted to get a big fight, and I was kind of an unknown dude, like no one really knew who I was. They just knew my record. I was 7-0, 7 knockouts. So, I mean, that's all anyone really knew about me. I mean, I'm not really super huge on social media or like marketing myself like that, because I don't fight for that. You know what I mean? I don't fight for the money's good. I don't fight for the money, but you know what I mean? Of course I want to get paid, but I honestly fight just because it's fun. Like, it's just something that ever since I was a young kid, I wanted to do. Ever since watching the first fighting movies like Bloodsport, Kickboxer, and the Rocky movies, like, I always wanted to be a fighter, and I always had this mentality of a fighter in me. So it's just something that I love to do. Once I got on Ultimate Fighter, I mean, before the Ultimate Fighter, I was going to quit, and I basically had a buddy who passed away day before my birthday that year in 2011 when I found out about it. And he told me, like, don't be a pussy, just stick out the rest of the year. And, you know what I mean, if the end of the year comes and you don't get a big fight, or, you know what I mean, it's not, you're not happy anymore, sacrificing what you are, then move on. At least you said you tried. So that's what I did, and I found out Ultimate Fighter was coming out, I think, in December. My buddy passed away November 22nd, which is the day before my birthday. I found out in December that Ultimate Fighter was having tryouts in my weight class. So I was like, this must be a sign. I tried out, and I told myself, if I make it, I'm going to keep fighting, and if I don't, then I'll let it go. I'll let that be the sign to tell me, you know what I mean, if I'm going to stay in or not. And I obviously made it. Rue and Cody Fisher got on the show, did really well on the show, and shit, here I am. What is it? 5 years later, I'm still fighting. So I'm absolutely blessed about the Ultimate Fighter and the opportunity that it presented and what it gave to me, because without that, who knows what I'd be doing now. I wouldn't be fighting, that's for sure.
Where does your mental fortitude come from, man? Because you mentioned how, you could have quit before the Ultimate Fighter. And then also, I mean, in the last 3 years, a lot of guys would have been very discouraged. But, I mean, here you are about to make your return.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say it was easy. I'm not going to say I wasn't discouraged and wasn't thinking about retiring in that amount of time. But I honestly don't know. My mental strength maybe just comes from where I grew up. You know what I mean? I grew up pretty rough. Not to get too much into it, but I wasn't really given a whole lot or had a whole lot of leash for myself to, you know what I mean, go out and explore and do my thing. I was kind of kept in, I want to say kind of like a dungeon environment where I wasn't really allowed to go out or do things because of where I lived. And I'm not sure, honestly. Some people are born with it, some people don't or aren't, and I was just blessed with it. My mental capability is one of my strongest weapons. And I'm just blessed to be born with that. I think a lot of it maybe just my mom. I grew up with my mom. Her just teach me little things here and there. So, I mean, when I was younger, like I said, I got in a lot of fights. I got my first fight, I think, when I was in like first or second grade, protecting my brother, and I beat up some like sixth grader, and I was only in second grade. So like that was kind of unheard of for a little kid like that to beat up a bigger kid. And I remember mom telling me, like, she was kind of mad at me, and she asked me what happened, and I told her like this kid was picking on my brother. You know what I mean? I just started whooping his ass. I started throwing punches, and my mom told me she was basically proud of me, and it kind of took me by surprise. And she basically told me, she's like, listen, she's like, I'm not raising no fucking bully, so if you need to protect your own, you know what I mean, your family, your friends, people you care about, by all means, do what you got to do. But if I ever catch you picking a fight or being the bully or, you know, me the instigator, then I'm gonna kick your ass. So that was just one thing that was always instilled in me, and that was something that I still live by to this day. Even before fighting, if I was out in the streets, you know what I mean, that's why I got a lot of fights, is I'd be at parties and stuff, and someone would maybe pick on one of my friends or you know what I mean, trying to start a fight with someone who obviously doesn't want any issues or anything. And I would take it upon myself to be the good guy and kind of jump in and help that person out, just because of the morality and my morals that I have and things that my mom taught me growing up. So honestly, I think a lot of it's just my mom, just little things like that she taught me here and there just growing up.
So when you beat up that bully, is that when you first kind of realized, hey man, I like this fighting thing?
No, you know, well, yes and no. So I wanted to fight before, because I remember seeing like the Rocky movie stuff when I was super young, and I remember that's like one of the first movies I saw was Rocky, because my mom had this boyfriend Wayne at the time, and he was basically into that stuff, and he introduced me to things like that. So I always was like intrigued by it and wanted to do it. But when I got that first taste of fight, it was kind of like a lion getting his first taste of blood. You just want more, you know, and I think it just kind of steamrolled from there. But once I got that first taste, yeah, it felt good, honestly. Like, it wasn't like I hated that kid. I mean, yeah, I was pissed at him because he was picking on my brother, and that's my brother, you know what I mean? I gotta protect my younger brother, but it was just fun. I enjoyed it. I mean, I got hit a little bit and scraped up from it, but I enjoyed it. I didn't have any problems with it. I was comfortable, honestly. I couldn't describe it any other way besides I was comfortable in that chaos.
Yeah, and I mean, speaking of being comfortable in chaos, even though you haven't fought in the last 3 years, it must have been mental chaos to be on the sidelines. So again, that's back to your mental fortitude, man. So yeah, you must be pretty excited about Sunday.
Oh, I am. I'm super stoked. And come Sunday, I mean, the world's going to know, and the world's going to realize once again what I'm capable of and what I am as a fighter and who I am as a person. So, I mean, I'm nothing but happy and ecstatic for this fight. I'm super focused. I'm really determined. Nothing's going to slow me down. Nothing's going to steer me away. And come Sunday night, the world's going to see that. The world's in for a jaw dropper.
Well, Vince, it's going down for you on Sunday, for us on Saturday. You versus Damien Brown. How's it going to go down, Vince?
I'm going to finish him any chance I get. If he lets me knock him out, I'm going to knock him out. If he gives me a sub, I'm going to take it. I'm not a greedy person, so I take what I get. So whatever he gives me, I'm going to pick that low-hanging fruit and take it.
Well, Vince, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me right here, right now on Half the Battle. It's been a pleasure. Let the audience know where they can follow you on social media, and anything else you want to tell the fans, go ahead.
Thank you, man. Pleasure's all mine. Guys, you can follow me on all my social media. It's all the same. I keep it simple. From Hell Pichel, Pichel. Follow me on my Instagram, my Twitter, my Facebook page. I want to give a shout-out to everyone that helped me train for this training camp. Everyone at Peterson Grapplers, everyone at the Sugarfoot Training Center, everyone at Street Sports Team Valley, And last but not least, everyone at Citadong in Azusa, California. And I also want to give a big shout out to all my friends out here in New Zealand over at America Top Team New Zealand, over at Oliver's MMA. All those guys have taken me in like family out here and helped me out a lot. I want to thank all my training partners. I want to thank all the fans that stuck by me. I want to thank my family, my friends, all the fans again. I want to thank all my sponsors. I want to thank Rev Gear. I want to thank The Throne, Defense Soap. I want to thank Rockwell Watches. I want to thank my manager, Jason House, for hooking me up. I want to thank the UFC for not cutting me, especially since they've been cutting people for a lot less than what I've been through is with all my injuries lately. Just absolutely blessed. Everyone that's been there to support me, I want to thank. And then also I want to thank all that hate that I've built up over these years, all the hard times I've been through, everything, all the turmoil that I've had to endure, because that's what lights the real fire under my ass and gets me going. So everything that I've been through, everything good or bad is a thankful thing for me. And without any of those good or bad times, I wouldn't be the guy I am today, and I wouldn't be where I am today. So I want to thank everything and everyone.